Karn Liberated's, Batter Skulls, Pristine Talismans. He's really playing more for the combo, or for the control matchup.
Yeah, he looks like he's playing like super win the top end.
Yes.
He plans winning going over the top, and now his opponent Wolf Run Pod. At first, I thought it was the WUG version of the French deck, but I was tricked by the blue of Metamorph.
Yeah. But interestingly, Gideon Jura too in Daniel's deck, so a few off the radar choices, which might be interesting here.
I'm going to give this one to Anthony.
Yeah.
I think what's going to happen is that we're going to see the power of Karn be very decisive in this match.
I definitely agree. Usually, the non-pod Wolf Run decks have the advantage in the mirror, and I don't see any reason why that won't happen here too. When you compare Timely Reinforcements to a card like Batter Skull too, one's just a lot better in the mirror. So it looks like Anthony won the play and is leading with turn 2 Rampant Growth versus just a Mountain from Daniel.
And I think the other thing to note too is that Daniel has so much less ramp than Anthony, and a lot of his ramp is creature based, so it's going to be very vulnerable to his little bits of... Oh, he does not have... I thought he had Slagstorm.
No Slagstorm.
No Slagstorm. He's running Pristine Talisman in a place where a lot of people run 3 Slagstorms.
His only real creature kill main deck is Devil's Play and Inferno Titan, and I guess Karn Liberated if you want to count that.
Pristine Talisman.
Gaining 1 and another Rampant Growth, so Anthony's going to have access to at least 6 mana on turn 4.
He might have 7 mana next turn.
Yeah. Which would play well with his 4 Green Sun Zeniths. And Daniel's touching the top card of his library. He would love to draw.
Look at that! Look at that!
Yeah. He would love to draw a second land here. I'm not sure if he mulliganed. I would imagine he did because he didn't have to discard. He was probably on 6 cards here. And there's a land. Comes into play tap. For the extra little
he didn't
dagger.
mulligan to 5.
Wow. And
Primeval Titan.
That should...
La 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 la.
That should be it.
La 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 la.
Unfortunately for Daniel, didn't get to play a real game 1. Not a real game of Magic. But I suppose he could come back if Anthony gets a game loss. No, if Daniel... Daniel needs an Oblivion Ring right now. That's pretty much going to be it. Or I suppose the one Phyrexian Metamorph would work too.
I'm going to say neither of those will let Daniel win.
No, probably not. Those are his only shots. If Anthony's hand has a whole bunch of nothing in it. Okay.
Like, right now, I like Daniel playing on just to see what he can see.
Right.
To learn a little bit more here and there.
Right, maybe Anthony will fetch up a Ghost Quarter, something like that.
Yeah, just a little bit more knowledge. It's always not, never a problem there. Let's pretend that this was, for some strange reason, 30 minutes into the game. Into the match, I would want to scoop up immediately. But, I mean, this is like 30 seconds into the match.
Right, I don't think there's any danger of the Wolf Run Mirror going to time.
Right.
So, Daniel cuts his opponent's deck.
Let's see if he can get any more information. Maybe Anthony will share with him a little bit more.
Let's hope so. At least Daniel has that beautiful black bordered Bird of Paradise going for him.
That's true. It's true.
Pretty nice art.
4 mana. Oh, 5, 6.
Nope. 6.
Inferno Titan. 7.
Oh no.
Green Sun Zenith.
For good measure, I'll get another Titan.
And he's not really giving any more information. I mean, you were not surprised to see a second Primeval Titan in the deck.
No, Green Sun Zenith also pretty much a mainstay. Maybe he'll get that Ghost Quarter. I saw him flip past it. But I'm sure Anthony's on the same level as you, doesn't want to give him that extra info. And he doesn't.
Yeah, very good.
Getting all 4 Nexi.
There's nothing wrong with giving extra information if it helps lock down a game. But if you've already got the game locked down, don't give any extra information.
Yeah, he probably didn't need to get all 4 Nexi there. I didn't need to, but...
Actually, I think that is a small mistake.
Yeah.
Like, for reals, now you know he has all 4.
Right, so maybe you won't bring in that Ancient Grudge, because it won't deal with all the Nexi, just half of them. So going to the sideboard, 2 minutes into the match, let's see what we have.
I think that we're going to see from Daniel Sword of Feast and Famine ×2.
Definitely. That card is amazing versus Wolf Run.
I see he has 4 Green Sun Zenith. I don't know that this is the matchup to try to do anything like that. You're going to be behind your opponent in mana, generally speaking. I think you probably just go with Sword of Feast and Famine, and then you didn't see anything besides Pristine Talisman and Inkmoth Nexus. That might be enough to say Ancient Grudge, but Ancient Grudge is one of those cards that by the time you're considering Ancient Grudging a attacking Inkmoth Nexus, the game might already be basically kind of done.
Usually too late. That said, I usually do like it in the Wolf Run mirror because oftentimes they only play 2 Nexi. So if you draw 1 Ancient Grudge, that means they can never kill you with poison. But like,
but in the mirror, you're actually keeping up with them.
Right.
Whereas this is not the mirror. You know, and I would say he would bring in the Ancient Grudge if and only if there are cards that he feels are just not quite good enough. If he's like just slightly upgrading something.
Right. Like I definitely expect to see him take out both Timely Reinforcements.
Yeah.
I also expect to see him take out the Viridian Emissaries since they're just very, very bad in the mirror. They don't do what you need them to do at all.
I don't mind 1 Emissary as a birthing pod chain target.
I agree with you there. I expect to see him cut down to 1 of those.
He might actually, because he has no other 2s in his deck, he might keep in 2 Viridian Emissaries so that the chain isn't so easily broken.
Right. I can see that. I definitely expect to see him cut the Thrun, cut some Blade Splicers, just sort of trim the cards that are better against creatures, not so good against the mirror.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, in terms of Anthony's deck, Anthony Avitollo, he has 1 Viridian Corruptor, 2 Tumble Magnet, a Battle Sphere, a Mirror Battle Sphere, a Ghost Quarter, 2 Ancient Grudge, 2 Gut Shot, 4 Blasphemous Act, and 2 Thrun.
Okay, here's the problem for Anthony Avitollo. It's possible he knows what Daniel's playing for numerous reasons, but he doesn't really know what Daniel's playing from this game.
Right.
I mean, what did he see? He saw
3 cards.
3 cards. He saw a Razor Verge Thicket, a Bird of Paradise, and a Mountain.
Yep, those are the ones.
So, I mean, there are a limited number of decks that could be, but it's still...
It could be a token deck.
Right.
It could be a ramp deck. It could be a pod ramp deck. So he doesn't really know. Not 100% sure. He doesn't know whether he should bring in the Viridian Corruptor, because it could be the Sphere of the Sun's version, the Pristine Talisman version. It could not. But I expect to see the Mirror Battle Sphere. I expect to see maybe 1 or 2 Ancient Grudges. The Ghost Quarter has a pretty small opportunity cost. I would say that's about it.
If he thinks he's playing against tokens, he could bring in Blasphemous Act.
Yeah. Not the absolute worst in the mirror either. Because even if you're killing a Titan and a couple other creatures for 6 mana, that's still sometimes just what you need to do. Not at its best, but it wouldn't be that bad. So the players are shuffling up. Daniel Bain will, of course, be on the play for Game 2. And I definitely played this matchup multiple times at the Invitational. I didn't have quite as wacky of a list as Daniel Bain. Pretty much more of a normal Wolf Run pod, but it's not fun. It's not fun for the pod deck.
You were more Wolf Runny than this deck, right?
Right. I was. I had 4 Rampant Growth.
Yeah.
I did have Viridian Emissary still. I had Birds of Paradise still. But I think it's interesting that the one card that all the Wolf Run decks seem to agree on, Rampant Growth, isn't here.
Yeah.
The one dedicated ramp spell is missing. So a different take on the deck. And here they are, drawing their openers. Looks like Daniel Bain pulling the land to the front. Looks like more than 1 this time. So he keeps.
Bird of Paradise versus Inkmoth Nexus. Second land, Blade Splicer.
Ooh, so he did keep in at least 1 Blade Splicer. Probably, again, to keep that chain going. So all of a sudden, Daniel Bain with 3 creatures on the board on turn 2.
Sphere.
Now, if he had an Ancient Grudge here, that would be very good.
In for 4.
Dropping Anthony to 16. And Daniel
Second
has another
Birds says go.
Wow.
Wow.
Crossing his fingers that there are no Slag Storms to be had. But as we know, there are none in the 75 of Anthony Avitollo.
think we're going to see there's a Viridian Emissary.
Huh.
Anything else, or is he done? He says go.
Wow, so Anthony Avitollo keeping a pretty weak hand here. Is going to have to rely on that Viridian Emissary to get a mana, but I expect Daniel not to attack until he has a few more creatures in play.
I might see a Titan here.
Ooh.
There it is, Primeval Titan.
So we're staring at a pair of very lopsided games here to start.
There we see a Wolf Run. Mountain.
Okay, so no Nexus yet, but that Wolf Run's going to threaten trample on any number of those creatures, any one of them.
What do you think about Anthony's keep here?
I don't know what it contained, but it seems pretty bad. I have to assume it had a rampant growth, so if he drew a forest, he almost had like a nut draw. It certainly had Sphere, but it doesn't seem very good.
I mean, if he had Rampant Growth, I would have cast Rampant even before the Emissary.
Right. He probably just wanted to slow the bleeding from those.
Even so.
Yeah, I agree.
4 mana, Solemn Simulacrum?
I think that's what he has pulled to the front there. I see at least a Batterskull. Rampant Growth, Batterskull, Green Sun Zenith. Those are the ones I can see.
Rampant.
There it is.
Getting his first actual colored mana.
Wow.
I mean, out of a land.
Yep. So Anthony gets 1 land a turn. Daniel gets 2 lands a turn. And Daniel's just 2 swings away from killing him outright. Anthony's going to have a pretty impressive follow-up to this. It would have to be a Blasphemous Act.
Yeah.
Which he actually could have cast. So he would have to draw Blasphemous Act as well as have sided it in.
Looks like a marked up mountain. Wonder what kind of special message it has on it.
Yeah, it doesn't look like a proxy.
It's just got written on it. I feel like maybe there's like this mountain once belonged to Jim. He died a good death.
Yep. Jim, of course, code for Viridian Emissary.
Right.
And crashes
We see
in.
9 coming down. Block the Golem, most likely.
Yep. Force him to use the Wolf Run if he wants to trample over on that. And looks like Nexus and Mountain. Or is that a Wolf Run?
That's a Wolf Run, I think.
Yeah, there are actually 0 Nexuses in Daniel Bain's deck. I don't think I like that. I would have thought
like
to
1.
include 1, yeah.
And he blocks the Golem.
As
and
expected.
for Daniel, I would just pump all into this just to make it next turn you're dead.
Right, no matter what. And it looks like that is what he's doing.
Boom. And it's going to be for
0?
just for 0 to get the 2 damage, huh?
Okay, so he must have a 5-drop he wants to play.
That's fair.
Or a land and a 6-drop, we'll see. So now Anthony's turn to search his deck. The Wolf Run Mirror definitely involves a lot of shuffling. In addition to not being a very fun matchup, strategically it's not a very fun matchup mechanically either.
Shuffle, 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 shuffle.
Yep.
Acidic Slime.
Points to Wolf Run. Not sure I like that.
I would have killed the forest.
Yep. And now the only reason Anthony's not scooping is probably because he wants to at least pretend like he has a Blasphemous Act in his deck. And there it is. So
On to a quick game 3.
yeah, 2 bloodbaths.
Now, Anthony did not have the benefit of knowing necessarily what his opponent had last game, but he has a much better idea now.
Yeah, you can see him thumbing through his deck. That's a man with a purpose right there. He knows what he's siding out, immediately pulling it to the front. And I'm sure he's going to have a little better idea what to side into. There aren't many good things you can say about losing game 1, but that's one of them. If you lose in that fashion, your opponent clearly incorrectly sideboards against you. Do you think Tumble Magnet is good in the mirror matchup here? Tap a Primeval Titan?
The yeah, I think it's actually quite fine. It does a lot of other work too. I mean, if you just need to step a single bird for a turn,
Right.
that can be reasonable.
Yeah, I can. Tap a Solemn down so they can't draw a card. Tap a Viridian Emissary down so they can't get a land. It's not bad. So with Anthony on the play, do you still think he's going to win?
Still?
Well,
I mean, I don't think...
has your opinion changed?
No, I think Anthony's going to win this one.
Yeah.
You know, like...
Doesn't seem like there's much contention there. So it seems like as we've been progressing through the rounds, we've seen more and more things like Wolf Run humans, summoning, then blue-white decks. We saw a lot more blue-white decks at the beginning of the tournament, I think, than at the end.
To be fair, there were... you're talking about aggressive decks, right?
Right.
The last round and the round before both had a blue-white aggressive deck.
Yeah, this one's humans. I'm more interested in the Midnight Haunting version.
Well, I mean, they're aggressive styles. I mean, obviously one's a white weenie deck and the other one's a blue weenie deck, essentially, but...
Right. But again, black, the color black, not too represented here today.
I know,
like we talked about.
who did I talk to? I think Ollie, no, not Ollie, somebody though. Somebody said that they lost and got knocked out of the tournament by Black Infect.
Wow.
I knew who it was. It was Marsh Usury, our former U.S. Nationals alternate, I believe. He said... 2009, it was
8?
Sam Black year, 2008. Yeah. So that was won by Michael Jacob that year.
Yep. That's right, the Black-Green Elves year. That was the dominance of Elves.
That was my deck in the finals there.
Oh,
so,
really?
Yeah.
Very nice. Sudden spoiling.
Sudden spoiling, yep. Adrian Sullivan technology. Also important in that was Slaughter Pact.
Oh.
That was a big deal. And we were very severely outclassed in that that final matchup because the particular version of Red that Michael Jacob had was just excellent in that matchup.
So, in another place and time, Sam Black could have been national champion. Maybe with a little better draws. But sort of a good history from Madison. A lot of very strong players came from there, right?
Yeah.
Madison, Wisconsin.
Brian Kowal is one of the better deck builders of the game's history. Probably the most famous Madison Magic player is definitely Bob Maher,
Yep.
who is immortalized on Dark Confidant. Hall of Fame player. I would say the third best player of all time without even anyone close to him.
Really, not even batting an eye.
There's not even a question.
Wow.
There's the top two, Kai and John, are heads and shoulders of everyone else, and Bob is the only one that's even in the same ballpark.
What made Bob so much better than, some would say Nassif at his prime, Kenji?
Basically,
like
what
that.
it boils down to is something like this. So Bob hadn't played in forever. He walked by, I want to say, the Legacy Championships where Sam Black was playing. And this is when there was a GG's Live where this happened, so you can actually watch this in archives. And was able to read Sam cold on the camera without seeing Sam's face or Sam's hand, and knew what Sam had.
So more of a reader than...
He's an incredible reader, as well as being one of the most talented natural players I've ever seen.
Wow. It's a ringing endorsement.
Yeah, the people that are on his level from natural talent, Finkel is maybe a little bit better natural talent-wise. There's a couple of people, but it's actually really amusing to me when I hear people make debates about the current crop of players. There are some great players.
Right.
Don't get me wrong. People that are playing right now at the top level of the game are incredible players.
Right. I'm pretty sure Paulo has something like 7 or 8 Pro Tour top 8s
Yeah.
and something like 50 tries.
And
40 tries.
and Paulo is no Bob Maher. It's not. Yeah, and particularly I think another part of it is the attitude of a lot that people need to have. Bob is not afraid to be embarrassed, which is a huge deal when you're talking about playing Magic, because what that means is this: you're willing to make a play or make a deck choice, even though it might make you look stupid, because you think it's the right choice.
Something not a lot of people can do. Not a lot of people can swallow their pride.
I mean, Apollo actually struggles with this. I mean, if you listen to or read his account of when he chose to play Swans, he almost didn't play Swans several years back because he thought it was going to be an embarrassing deck. You read his account of it, he specifically talks about that level of being like, I don't want to look bad.
Wow. Well, I guess he didn't think that it was the right choice on some level. He didn't play it.
Forrest with a special message on it from Anthony. Forrest Bird from Daniel. Spear of the Suns from Anthony.
They've both mulliganed multiple times here. I believe Anthony's on 5, Daniel's on 6, though. Both on 6.
Birds.
So Anthony, 4 mana on turn
Solemn.
3. Solemn.
There is the original Solemn Simulacrum. That's Jens Thorin, the Invitational winner, I want to say from 2006, but I'm not, or not 6, pretty good, 2004, but I'm not 100% sure of that.
Yeah, we can find out. So is it Jens or Jens?
It's probably Jens, but I don't know Jens personally,
Sure.
or Jens, or Jens, or Jens, so I'm just going to say Jens.
Okay, fair enough.
Anyone out there that
I'll
does
say
know
Jens.
Jens or Jens, please feel free to let me know because I would like to say the person's name correctly.
Right. The 2002 Magic Invitational.
I'm ahead of myself 2 years there.
So Daniel, 4 mana.
Thrun.
Interesting to see that one in his deck post sideboard. Usually that's not too good in the mirror match.
And we see Primeval.
And that's why.
Exactly.
Vastly outclassed by the 6/6 Primeval Titan.
That is a 4th turn Primeval.
Wow, on a Mulda 6, that's impressive. We'll see if Daniel can match that with his own.
Now remember, the whole way that Anthony's deck is built, it's built to win if it is getting into a go-over-the-top war. So since he hasn't landed the first Primeval, this game is going to require that Daniel do something huge, and then probably do something huge again, just on averages.
Yeah, definitely. If Anthony ever draws a Karn, the game is likely over as well.
Yeah.
If he has a Karn in his hand, there's not going to be much Daniel can do. Daniel's best follow-up right now is a Primeval Titan of his own,
Yep.
or an Oblivion Ring on Anthony's Primeval Titan. So, draws, untaps.
Alternately, he could Phyrexian Metamorph the Primeval Titan
Okay.
and cast Oblivion Ring.
Oh, that would be the best. We'll see if he's that skilled.
I'm trying to reach for the stars here.
He could cast Timely Reinforcements for neither.
6 mana.
Okay.
Primeval Titan. Dueling Titans.
Now here's where it gets interesting. Now it all depends on what Anthony has in his hand. And now it also stings that Daniel doesn't have any Nexi in his deck because he can't even just go get one to block.
Yeah.
Seems like a pretty big deck oversight right there.
I mean, it could be that he went through his mana and was like, I can't afford a 4th colorless land.
Maybe
But
that was
I
it.
don't know that that is the case looking at this card selection.
Yeah, he has 3 Razor Verge Thicket, so if that was really an issue, he could just play a 4th one of those. And actually, speaking from experience with the Wolf Run pod decks, their mana is very good.
Yeah.
Very good.
Well, he's not running Ramp, though. He's not running Rampant Growth.
That's true. 4 Birds of Paradise, 2 Avacyn's Pilgrim, 3 Viridian Emissary. But no Rampant Growth. Nor Solemn Simulacrum. I'm sorry, only 2 Solemn Simulacrum.
And we're going to see the untap here from Anthony Avitollo. Look at all that mana.
Oof. Scary.
I think I see Devil's Play. I could be wrong.
If he has a Devil's Play, yeah, which he... Bang.
Devil's Play.
This game is going to get very out of reach for Daniel very fast.
What's really cool with Devil's Play and Primeval Titan is just how easy it is to flash back Devil's Play for a reasonable amount.
It is. Even after this turn, no land drop, he's going to be able to flash it back for 7. Which is huge. Because we're on, what, turn 6?
Yeah.
Turn 6, flashback Devil's Play for 7, not bad.
No, next turn will be turn 6.
Wow. Wow.
You know, so...
That is massive. So Anthony shuffles up, and now Daniel will need that Oblivion Ring.
Like, let's pretend that Daniel dropped another Primeval Titan. It's already dead if Anthony wants it to be.
Right. Devil's Play is such a good Titan answer. It kills 2.
Presuming you have the Primeval, power-up.
Right. Even if not, 9 mana is not unreasonable in this mirror match. And ships the turn back. Draws, untaps.
Out of order sequencing is fine.
It is.
According to the rules. Okay, what are we going to do? Spending 2 mana.
Okay. A welcome addition to the board is Viridian Emissary.
Amusingly, with their Thrun, they can gang up.
Wow, they can.
Maybe he will have to Devil's Play the Emissary.
I think if Anthony just attacks with that Titan, gets lands, and passes the turn, Daniel's just dead next turn to a flashback. Just about. Ghost Quarters the Wolf Run.
Wow.
Okay. Not sure how I feel about that. Even if it's not the right play, this game is all but locked up for Anthony. Taking no precautions, though, as he shuffles his opponent's deck thoroughly. Always a good thing to do. And now it looks like he's going for the Wolf Run. Oh, the Tumble Magnet.
Yeah,
Wow.
you brought this up. This is a really awesome little thing he can do here. Now, I mean, I'm trying to come up with some set of plans for Daniel that makes him win. I don't know if I can even come up with one.
No, I'm not. I'm not sure what it would entail. That Devil's Play in the graveyard that just represents lethal at any point now, because he is taking trample damage from that Titan. I think a Sway of the Stars would do it.
I was actually thinking about Jackal Hops.
Okay, yeah, that would work too. But neither of those cards are legal in Standard right now.
That's true.
Decree of Annihilation. Obliterate.
Right. Apocalypse.
Oh. Not often remembered Apocalypse. And by the way, you take 2.
And does he have anything left in his hand?
I think that's an Acidic Slime peeking out there. It's for good measure.
Might as well just sit back. I think the other card was a Sphere of the Suns.
Yeah.
Tap.
Yeah, that's tap, buddy. Anthony Avitollo. Playing hard.
Might as well put the Sphere into play.
Yeah, no reason not to. Daniel could have a Mindslaver. Flashback Devil's Play on yourself.
Right.
Does not have 10 mana though. Actually, 1 land away.
I think if he actually cast Insurrection, would he do it?
Oh!
Nope, he's a little bit short.
Yep.
Never mind.
10, 12, 14. Yeah, it's only 14.
Only 14.
Just trying to come up with any card in Magic here.
Right. Another Viridian, just in case.
Reverse the Sands now. That wouldn't do it. Just all the wacky cards.
Can he doubles play for the kill?
Yeah, he probably can. Scrambleverse.
Pretty close. Scrambleverse.
Scrambleverse winning every coin flip. That's a standard legal card right there. So now Anthony weighs his options. So many with that much mana.
Does he have enough to cast Mindslaver and then sacrifice it? Daniel Bain, I mean?
He was 1 short.
Oh, man.
So yeah, he was only 1 mana off this game. Not sure how that even would have done it.
Well, he could doubles play Anthony's own Primeval Titan.
Own face.
Tap
your emissary. Taking no chances is Anthony Avitollo as he swings in. Oh, Solemn 2. No blocks yet, my friend.
Looking for something to grab.
Yeah. Do I have any lands left in my deck? There's 1. Oh, 2. Okay.
It's gonna be.
Justin. Oh no, we're changing our mind here. Glimmer Post.
Are those 2 Glimmer Posts?
We're out of Mindslaver range. Oh my.
He's got to make sure that he gets up to 24.
He's showboating. Anthony Avitollo, shame on you. Kill the man.
Overkill.
Daniel Bain futilely trying to figure out his blocks here. Daniel Bain asks how much time is left in the round.
Yeah. Can I stall for 35 minutes?
Likely, the answer is no. Anthony Avitollo has his lands arranged by type now. He has so many. This is my Nexus pile. Oh.
Zot.
And Tramplion.
On Primeval, he says. Condemn.
He shrugs his shoulders, counts it up. And that's the game.
There we go. Anthony taking it down in easy fashion.
Yep, 3 games, all of them pretty lopsided.
If you didn't catch that that big high five off to the side. I thought I wasn't going to win, he said.
What do you mean I was showboating? He deserves that win. He played well, didn't mess up at all, and took it down. Didn't get to see Karn, unfortunately.
I love Karn. Karn's amazing. I'm going to marry Karn.
Karn's a good man. That's legal in Wisconsin, right?
No.
Robot man? No?
No.
Oh,
No.
it's unfortunate.
Pennsylvania.
Rick Santorum,
man
what?
robot love.
Dude, did you just say man robot?
I did say man robot.